Hey, beautiful. Welcome to another episode of the Love You Deserve podcast. I'm your host, Coach Yolanda. Let's get into today's episode. Today, we're going to talk about when to walk away. When to walk away. Disclaimer for all my married ladies who are listening to this podcast, this episode is not for you. This episode is for my single ladies who are not in committed relationships. So I don't want you saying, Miss Yo told me to divorce my husband. Mm-mm. This episode is for my single ladies. One of the hardest things that I have found in relationships is knowing when to walk away. I don't know if it's the hopeless romantic in me. But in my past relationships, I have always wanted to let me try one more thing. Just let me, let me overfunction. Let me put out more than him. I just believe in him and I believe this is going to work and he's going through something and I made all type of excuses when the truth was I was overfunctioning because the guy wasn't that into me. Some guys date us because they just want something to do, I'll be honest. Because men know if if this lady clicks with me, is she my person? They know early in the relationship. And sometimes if they have a hard time defining the relationship, or if you see them getting hot and cold, if you see them backing away, it could possibly mean that they already know you're not their person or they're not ready for a monogamous relationship. Either way, the hardest thing for me when I was dating was to know when to walk away, when to close the door, and not prop that door open with my foot. And in the back of my mind, hoping that he'll come to his senses and come back to me. Well, that thinking came from a broken place. Because if you are willing to put your life on hold to wait around for a man to figure out if you're worthy of his attention, then something's off in you. It's not him, it's you. Walking away is sometimes the most loving thing you can do for you. I know that's tough. That was hard for me to grasp a revelation of. But sometimes, single ladies, walking away is your way of proving to yourself that you love yourself enough not to chase him. You love yourself enough not to overgive. You love yourself enough not to overfunction. You deserve a man who gives out equal effort. And if the guy you're with is not doing that, that's a red flag. Am I saying bail? No. But I'm saying observe. I'm saying take two steps back emotionally and look at the relationship with sober eyes. If your girlfriend was in this relationship, what advice would you give her? Then step back, think about it, and take your own advice. Most women don't struggle with leaving, they struggle with meaning it. Did you hear what I just said? I said most women don't struggle with leaving. We struggle with leaving and meaning it. And we struggle because we go back and forth. You emotionally leave and then you come right back. You pull away and then you respond to a late night text. You move on and then answer when they text you, hey, stranger. You're done until loneliness hits you. You're done until that little voice in the back of your head says, you don't know when the next man gonna come ask you out. You should have stayed with him. It wasn't that bad. That's loneliness talking. Today we're gonna talk about the signs when it's time to walk away and finally close that door. I'm gonna give you 4 points. Number one, when you have more confusion than clarity, it's time to walk away. If you spend more time overthinking than enjoying him, that's a sign. Healthy connections feel grounded, not draining. Confusion is not chemistry. It's your spirit saying, pay attention. It's your woman's intuition saying, something's off. There shouldn't be confusion. There should only be clarity. Remember the episode where we talked about that men know what they want? And if he's unable to be clear, that's because he is not the one. See, love is not hard. Love becomes hard when you're with a man who's emotionally unavailable. Love becomes hard when you're with a man who is not emotionally whole. But the right man, the man for you, won't cause you to be confused. You'll be perfectly clear about how he feels about you and where you stand in the relationship. Number two, when effort becomes one sided, it's time to walk away. That's a big red flag. Relationships, healthy relation. Let me say that healthy relationships are built on mutuality. Healthy relationships are built on give and take. Healthy relationships are built on mutual effort. If you feel like the one who is always initiating dates, the one who is always explaining, you're always making adjustments, you're the one that's always apologizing, and you're the one that's always accommodating, then you're carrying more than your emotional share in the relationship. A man who wants you won't make you guess. A man who wants you gonna call. You don't have to keep calling him, seeing where he is. A man who wants you is gonna plan a date and show up on time. Why? Because he's excited about going out with you. If you're the one that's putting out all the effort or most of the effort, and if you don't put out effort, then nothing gets done, that's a red flag. It may be time to walk away. Number three, when words don't match actions. That's a big one. Men sometimes can be so eloquent with their words. Sometimes men can say whatever they feel like we want to hear, and we'll be like, oh, that was so sweet. But words are one thing, actions are something else. Remember the video I did about a project manager? You don't want to fall in love with his potential. And yes, maybe he has the potential to be an amazing boyfriend. Maybe he has the potential to be an amazing fiance or an amazing husband But what is he showing you today? He says he's into you, but is he consistent? Inconsistent men give beautiful speeches. They talk about vision, they talk about their future, and they talk about, oh, I have such a connection with you. And all that sounds good and it's what we want. And so we fall for the words. We fall for the words. But if we take a step back, pull our emotions back, and observe their behavior sometimes tells a different story. They say they love you, but they don't value you. They don't value your time. They don't value your opinion. They don't value your body. They don't value the relationship. Yet they say, I love you, because they know if they use that word, then you would be more prone to give them the prize that is your body. They learned that early in high school. Man, she thirsty, so if I tell her I love her, I can get where I need to be. They learned that early. But we don't learn these lessons early. We learn these lessons late in life. But it's up to us, ladies, to teach our daughters these things so they won't have to go through the pain we went through when words don't match actions. That's a red flag. You may need to walk away, because remember, if his words and his actions don't agree, you got to go with what he is doing, because men can say anything, but their actions tells the whole story. Number 4, when the relationship takes more than it gives. When the man takes more than he's given. That may be a sign you need to walk away. You should not lose yourself while you're trying to love him. Did you hear what I just said? I said you should not lose yourself while you're trying to love him. Relationships are supposed to make you better. Relationships are supposed to add to you, not take away from you. If the relationship is costing you your peace, if the relationship is costing you your boundaries, you're doing things you said you'd never do just to keep him. If the relationship is costing you your joy, if it's costing you your dignity, if it's costing you your financial future, then the relationship you're in is too expensive. Peace is priceless. The relationship shouldn't cost you peace. You shouldn't be wondering how he feels about you. You should have clarity on that. You shouldn't be wondering if you're the only woman in his heart. You shouldn't be wondering if you're the only woman in his text messages. You shouldn't have to wonder. And because you are wondering, that means you are confused about where you stand with him. Remember, that was number 1. You're meant, you're not meant to fall for fallacies or fantasies. We all have this Hallmark type man in our mind of how we think he ought to be and what we think he ought to say. But we can't stay with men who can't be clear with how they feel about us. We can't stay with men who disrespect us. We can't stay with men who don't value us. We can't stay with men when we're the one putting out all the effort or even most of the effort. Walking away is not quitting. Walking away is protecting your heart. I hear you, sis. I hear you saying, Coach Yolanda, you don't know how long I've been with Joe. I've been with Joe 7 years, and I just can't walk away from Joe. We have two kids together. Let me tell you something. I know that you're in love with Joe. Joe may be in love with you, but if you want to be a wife, you can't give away wife duties for free. Did you hear what I just said? I don't care how nice Joe is. I don't care if Joe pay all the bills because if you weren't living with Joe, Joe would have to pay all the bills anyway to take care of his own self. You've been with Joe 7 years. In 7 years' time, you mean to tell me two kids in, and you mean to tell me Joe don't know whether you're the one or not? Come on. Come on. That's my pet peeve. Come on. It's harder to leave once you have children. It's harder for you to leave. He knows that. He's getting wife privileges without having to pay the wife price. So who is winning in your relationship? You or Joe? I can't I can't say walk away from Joe. You have so much invested. But if you have dreams of being a wife and Joe doesn't want to get married, or you've been engaged for 7 years, I'm just saying, walking away is not quitting, walking away is protecting your heart. See, somebody pulling on me, this is not in my notes. We train men how to treat us by what we tolerate. Did you hear what I just said? I said we train men how to treat us by what we tolerate. I could say, I don't like pineapples. When my husband bring pineapples home and I eat them pineapples, he gonna say, that heifer eat pineapple. What's she talking about? I could have just eaten them pineapples because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And deep down, I don't like pineapples. What is that? That's me loosening up my boundary, not standing my ground. I really don't like pineapples. But if I eat them because he wants me to eat them, or I'm afraid he gonna get mad at me if I don't eat them, then he has control. I've lost my control. And so in this scenario with Joe, Joe may be a wonderful guy. He paying all the bills. He may be a good dad. He's already doing husbandly things, but he's telling you, I don't need no paper. I don't need no piece of paper to tell me how I feel about you. Really? So the fact that you want to be a wife, you're just gonna let that go? And Joe teaching purpose, I'm messing around and die, and you're just the woman he lived with, and you and your kids have nothing because Joe paid everything. Joe don't have no life insurance. If he does, his mama the beneficiary or his adult children. And so you and your kids have nothing. When to walk away, when to stay. That's what we're talking about. I can't make that decision for you. How to walk away and mean it. Number one, stop entertaining old access. Once you break up, close the door. Don't be entertaining text messages. Don't be hollering about we gonna be friends. Don't let him still come over and watch Netflix and chill. Uh-uh. When we break up, you have lost all access to me. Lose my number. And if you keep calling me and keep texting me, I'm gonna block you because we're done. Because you didn't appreciate me when you had me. Don't try to come back and holler now that I'm gone and you know I'm gone. Leaving the door cracked lets dysfunction walk back in your life. And that's what that was. That relationship was dysfunctional. And we want that relationship to stay out of our lives. Number two, grieve the relationship. It's okay. Grieve the relationship, not the fantasy. Allow yourself to mourn what you hoped it could be. It's okay to say, man, I really thought Joe was the one. It's okay. Because women get feelings, we catch feelings quick. It's okay. It's okay to grieve that it didn't work out. But don't let that mourning cause you to entertain old, old relationships. An ex is an ex for a reason. Never go back. Never go back. Number three, replace emotion with truth. You know why you're leaving. Write them down. Feelings fade. One day you'll feel like leaving. The next day you'll feel like, I can't leave Joe. The next day you'll feel like, I need to leave Joe. The next day you'll say, man, I can't leave Joe. Write down the reasons why you should leave. You can't go by your feelings because it's never going to feel like the right time. You have to go by their behavior and the reality of the relationship you're in or lack of one. Number four, stay aligned with your future, not your loneliness. You're choosing the woman that you're becoming. You're becoming a high value woman. You're choosing yourself. Don't stay and choose the man. Choose yourself and walk away. Because walking away can be the best way that you show love to yourself. And sometimes walking away is how you protect not only your heart, but how you protect your peace. Affirmations for walking away. I choose myself with confidence and courage. I release anything that threatens my peace or my self worth. My future deserves a version of me who is healed and whole. I love that one. I'm going to say it again. My future deserves a version of me who is healed and whole. Walking away creates space for the right love to enter. Walking away, even though it may hurt, it will create space for the right love to enter. I am stronger than my loneliness and I am aligned with my purpose. That's good. I'm going to read it again. I am stronger than my loneliness and I am aligned with my purpose. Here are your journal prompts for the week. Number one, what part of me struggled the most with walking away from a past relationship? What part of me struggled the most when walking away from a past relationship? Now, I'm going to answer this one just to help this lady with Joe. My first marriage, what helped me walk away from that relationship was the fact that his behavior was different than his words. He went from I love you till now I'm acting like I don't even respect you. And so when there was a shift in his actions, I struggled letting it go. But what finally helped me to let it go, I was struggling with what would people say? What would people say? Oh, you gonna get a divorce? What would people say? Oh, you broke up? What would people say? That was the hardest part for me. What would people say? But how he treated me, the confusion he caused, was worse than the embarrassment that I thought I would feel by getting divorced and walking away. So for me, what I struggled with was what would people think? And you know what? People gonna think what people gonna think, and people gonna say what people gonna say. You have to protect your own peace. And nobody can make the decision to walk away but you. Number two, what truth do I need to remind myself of when I feel tempted to go back? Remember that confusion. Remember that uncertainty. Remember how you felt when your brain was working overtime and you didn't know he said he was at work, but then when you just happened to drive by, his car wasn't there? And when he ain't answer the text and he ain't answer the call, and now your mind wondering, well, he ain't where he said he's supposed to be. Why? Remind yourself of why you left, and that'll keep you from going back. Number three, what would the healthiest version of me do right now? The healthiest version of you would lead Joe. The healthiest version of you would create an exit plan. You may not be able to walk away from Joe today. You may be a stay-at-home mom. And depending on Joe's income, you can't go to Joe and say, you going to marry me or I'm gone. See, because Joe know you ain't got no money saved. He know you ain't finished your degree. So Joe know you talking, you calling his, he gonna call your bluff. Cause he know that you really don't have nowhere to go. Cause you really don't want to go back and stay with your mama. He gonna call your bluff. So don't go around giving ultimatums that you ain't woman enough to stand by. Don't do that. But create an exit plan. If you're not happy with that situation with Joe, create your exit plan. Create you a side hustle. Create you some money on the side. Stack it up. Get your credit score together so you can exit. Because you don't want to be like a lady I met 26 years in, still engaged to this man. He asked her to marry him, but he never divorced his wife. Never divorced his wife. Engaged to her for 26 years. He raised all their children together. And you know what she said to me, and I felt really, really sad. She said, he bought me this trailer. I said, oh, it's beautiful. In my head, I'm thinking, and that's all you got? Is the trailer in his name? If he dies, it's gonna go to the wife. The car's in his name. When he died, they're going to the wife. The insurance policy is all in the wife's name. When he died, she's not going to have anything. I felt really sorry for her. But she got a ring in the trailer. I just, hopefully, the trailer in her name. She didn't develop a exit plan. She was content because she felt like she won because she got the man. But did she win? Number four, what standard am I raising by finally closing this door? The standard you're raising by finally closing this door is that you're putting yourself first. You're putting yourself first, and that's real love. Real love doesn't allow you to be mistreated. You're not going to allow yourself to be mistreated by anyone, especially not a man. Oh, no. No, no. Raise your standards, stick to your boundaries. And if he can't give you clarity, that's confusion. And if he can't put out mutual effort, that's a red flag. He may need to stay on the friend list. He may not be someone that you need to become exclusive with because he can't even tell you and be consistent in how he behaves. His words don't match his behavior. That's a red flag. He's just not that into you. And it is a sign that you may need to consider walking away. Hey, that's my best shot. Thanks for tuning in to the Love You Deserve podcast. This episode blessed you. Share it with someone who needs the strength to choose herself, who needs the strength to walk away. Remember, closing one door opens the right one. You're not losing when you choose to love yourself. If you're on IG, follow me at coach underscore Yolanda B. Hop over to YouTube and check out the video version of this podcast.